Welcome to another episode of the Gun Man Insta Live. Tonight we have an incredible guest. This guy is a real bad man. He is a lovable character, a very popular speaker, one of the hottest ring announcers in the game. We have Hus Ragip. He is Misfits Ring announcer. His story is incredible. Absolutely incredible. So tune in to this live. You must watch this. You must follow this guy's journey. Incredible it is. So I'm going to get Hus onto the live. Ask him some questions. Make sure you follow the Gunman. We've got some amazing interviews that are coming up. So make sure you follow Gunman Boxing and support these fighters and people in the fight game that come on and share with us their journey. So follow me. There's some exciting stuff about to go on.
Yo.
Yeah, my man.
How's it going, brother?
There he is. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you, man. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. I am always good. I'm truly blessed to be able to speak and connect with people like yourself.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on, man. Really appreciate it.
Oh, mate, it's an honor. Absolute honor. It is great. It is great.
Awesome.
Listen, welcome to the Gunman Insta Live. This is a platform for people in the fight game like yourself to come on and share your journey. And I know you have an incredible journey, which I'm excited to really hear about today. But for those that don't know this man, this is Hus Ragip. He is the lovable, popular ring announcer of Misfits.
Thank you.
One of the most exciting and hottest speakers in the game. And he joins me on the Insta Live tonight to share his journey so far. So, yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for making time.
Thank you, man.
Amazing. Amazing. Listen, is there a secret recipe to ring announcing?
I think I would say it's got to be a voice. You got to have a voice for it, and yeah, and just like have the courage to perform, you know, in front of thousands of people. So yeah. I think they're the two main ingredients. Man.
Yeah. What about the actual fact that it's live? You know, you're performing live, so there's no room for error.
I mean, like no one's perfect, so like there would always, like, no matter which ring announcer, every ring announcer's made a little slip up here and there, which is normal, you know. But it's just honing the craft and then just like going through a night without making a mistake, you know. But there is a bit of pressure, but I'll say the key is just to be relaxed.
Yeah. Did you used to make a lot of mistakes when you first started? Like, would you sometimes like announce a champion and forget like half of his belts?
No, I mean,
like that.
No, sometimes like sometimes like sometimes a name or something can be a little bit tongue twisting when you come across like odd names, and sometimes the information that comes to me about where the fighter is from hasn't been communicated properly between them and the fighter, and I've been given a wrong place of where they're from, and I've announced it, and then they're like, that's not where I'm from, but you know, but that's like, you know, it happens, you know. So like, but then that happened in the early days, and so now like it's like I tend to go and speak with the fighters now, and try and make sure that I've got the right and correct information, and make sure there's no mistake.
Yeah. Is a one-liner absolutely necessary? I mean, you hear let's get ready to rumble. You know what I mean? And that sticks in people's head. Is it necessary for a ring announcer to have their own sort of trademark or try and replicate that kind of feel?
Yeah, definitely, man. Because when it's a big fight, it just feels right when you have a good one and you drop it, and then then when you get the crowd going from it, it's amazing. So yeah, it's definitely needed, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got a couple of phrases that you live by, and if you have, can you share them with us?
My one's "Let's see some thunder."
Yeah, I love that.
That's the one I drop. That's my one and only phrase. And I've gone as far as copywriting it as well, and making sure it's mine.
Oh, really? You have to go that far, do you? You have to actually copyright.
Yeah.
Really? Can you copyright phrases then?
Yeah, you can. It's a bit of a process. Got to go through like the government website, and then you got to apply for it, and then it takes like maybe 2 months for the government to email out anyone else who's got anything sort of similar to it to see if it's going to clash with what they've already copywritten, and then they can oppose it as well. But thankfully, mine never got opposed, and mine came through, and it's mine now. Yeah,
that's so interesting. That's so interesting. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you sort of come up with a saying, you get it copyrighted, so then other people can't just nick your lyrics.
Yeah. It's like if you know that's the one you're using, and it becomes part of you. So like when like even today, because I still work with a lot of pro shows. I'm doing the top tier show on the 27th of this month, and they posted a poster of me, and at the bottom, like in the caption, they've all got the thunder emojis and stuff. So it's like it's part of me now.
Yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it? That's brilliant. Yeah. So I'm called the Gunman, and my show's called the Gunman Boxing, and I actually got my name because I used to box, and I'm a black kid from Surrey, and I needed a scary name,
right.
And I was Wesley Graham. I was like, what rhymes with Gunman Graham, and then it just stuck. But people just call me
Gunman Graham.
Oh yes, love that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's got a good ring to it, man.
Yeah, we'll have to trademark that, won't we?
Definitely.
So yeah, that's how mine came about. People call me Gunman now, and someone says Gunman, I actually, turn around and everything now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's part and parcel of it. So I want to just come on to back to working live. So obviously when you first start and you get tongue twisted by a few names, I actually kind of quite relate to this with you, because I work live as well. All my shows are Insta lives. Every question, every show is live. When I do sort of face-offs or behind the gloves for people, where I'm interviewing recorded, a lot of the time I can just bang it out in one take. Do you know what I mean? I've done it behind the gloves, and the cameraman's like, right, okay, we'll take a few shots. I said, no, man. I just count me in and let's go, and I can just fire away, So I've got used to working live, but it does come with its challenges, from my point of view. Obviously, you've got things like Wi-Fi connection and lighting. I've interviewed people when they're in the car and stuff, in the dark, and syncing at the same time, getting on at the same time, and all these kind of things. What major challenges do you have working live? Is there anything that we're not seeing other than like the tricky names? Anything else?
I mean, like I make sure I got all the info, and I usually have my cards written the night before. Because soon as the
reading off cards, are you reading off cards?
Yeah, you read off cards, but so you read off cards, but when I first started, one fight I would have written on 3 cards because I was I was writing literally every word out. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena wherever we are. now I've got one fight written on one card.
Yeah.
So for 3 cards, I've dropped it down to 1 because now I know what I'm saying. I'm in the swing of things, and like, you know, for like even so, like when you know, if they're a debutant, so if they're making their debut, like I used to write and making their debut. Now I just do like MHPD, so making his professional debut. So I already like I just do all shortcuts and stuff on my card.
You just need prompts now, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with me as well. Again, I always like relate to what, I mean, I see what you're doing and I relate to it myself as well, because I know people by their usernames. Like, you know, what I mean? It's really sad because I'm on Insta all the time. And so sometimes when I'm reading questions from people in the chat and I'm just reading all these really long Insta names, it can be challenging, you know, reading them out correctly. But also, you know, and I meet people in person, I'm like, oh yeah, how you doing, Pest the Superstar? And they'd be like, yeah, my name's John Harding Jr. You're like, oh.
I'm close with John. Like, I mean, I've announced quite a few of his fights.
Yeah, he was on here yesterday.
Yeah, I saw clips of it. He's a good guy, man.
Yeah, it was hilarious. We had a really good chat. So nobody grows up wanting to be a ring announcer. It's not a dream that you have, is it? How did you get into it?
I did not think in a million years I'd be doing what I'm doing.
No, like you dream of being the heavyweight champion of the world. You dream of being like a middleweight great, but no one dreams of being the ring announcer. How can you tell us how it came about?
Yeah, I mean, it happened back in 2019. I was working on the DLR, the Docklands Light Railway, at Bank Station as a customer support officer. So I was stationed at Bank Station only. Like, I wasn't on the trains. I was on the platforms, like doing crowd control and you know, being trained in you know, if something goes down, how to evacuate all the people out, and you know, evacuate, like how to implement evacuation plans and things like that.
Yeah.
And we've got these little grey devices, which like it's like a, you know, you press the button and talk into it, and then your voice just like echoes around the station.
Yeah.
And you know, we have to announce what train's coming in, what the major stops is stopping at. So if we've got the Lewisham train, you know, is stopping at Caisark or Greenwich and things like that. It's sort of, I might have even messed up. But when we did the training for the job, we covered like a section on about announcing, and they said to us, man, they said, hey, look, if you can announce in a quirky way, but still get the information out, and yeah, like, you know, if you feel comfortable doing something funny, like making the commuters' days a bit more happier, put a smile on their face, because you would be surprised on how many people are miserable.
Oh, everyone's miserable.
Yeah, traveling, everyone's miserable. And like, you know, even if you did a normal announcement, so like, even if I, like, the amount of times I would say, yeah, the next train's to Lewisham. As soon as I finish, someone will come up to me and be like, excuse me, mate, is the next train to Lewisham? And I'm just like, I just announced it literally 2 seconds ago, but you didn't hear it on all the speakers in the station. So then, and like, I've been doing a lot of voices from like when I was 16, like doing impersonations and doing character voices, because I'm a big fan of video games, and I grew up on games like Metal Gear Solid and things like that.
Oh, mate, brilliant.
So like, I always like wanted to get into that, doing voice acting and you know, just like manipulating my voice, and if I can, you know, get a job from it and stuff like that. Like, it was always an interest of mine.
Yeah.
And then basically I just thought, hey, you know what, like, I need to announce a train that grabs everyone's attention. And then I thought, how can I introduce this? And then I was thinking, and I was just like, you know what? Who gets the best introduction? And I was just like, boxers, you know, and like, because like growing up, I got a brother who's like 7 years older than me, and like, so he was a big Mike Tyson fan. So as growing up, I got to watch Mike Tyson, watch Michael Buffer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. So like I was watching the announcers, and like so it just clicked to me, maybe do a boxing announcement for the trains, you know. So then I remember there was one late shift, and then I just started messing about. Like it weren't packed, so it wasn't peak time. So I just started messing about, you know, like bringing in the train. So I was like, all right, so we're on platform 9. So then I'm thinking, all right, let's do, you know, fighting out of the platform 9 corner. You know what I mean? So that's the corner. And then I was like, introducing our next train, you know, is the Lewisham service or not? Yeah. So then I was just like, you know, welcome to the DLR arena, you know. So then I just like started messing about. And I remember it took about 2 hours on my shift to like get it down. So I was like, how much does it weigh? So I was like, you know, 600 tons of pure steel, always on time with 0 delays. It just like started thinking, and then because of being a Tyson fan, I was always calling it Iron, DLR Lewisham or DLR Greenwich. So like, then I started doing it, and like, it just started getting so much attention, and like the amount of people. But the good thing was, the tweets were going crazy on like how much people were loving it and saying, "Hey man, like whoever's announcing at Bank Station really made my day.
Wow.
It made traveling fun again." And then people coming up to me be like, "Hey man, keep doing what you're doing. You know, I love traveling now. You know, London's awesome now. You know, this is what London's about and stuff like that." And I just thought, you know, if the people are loving it, then I'm doing a good job, you know.
Yeah,
and then,
that's what makes it worthwhile when you get those little comments and stuff.
Yeah,
it
man.
makes it really fulfilling, doesn't it? What you're doing.
And then before I knew it, there was an AJ fight happening at the O2 during that time. And Michael Buffer tweeted that he's on his way to London to announce the AJ fight. So then my manager came and recorded me doing it, and he tagged Michael Buffer in the tweet saying, hey, like, come see the new you, and, you know, come by Bank Station and see the new you, and this and that. And then he retweeted it.
Yeah.
Saying, wow, I love it, you know. And then from there, it just started spiraling. Before we knew it, man, it just
went viral.
It just went so crazy. You know, I remember this one guy come up to me. He goes, "Hey man," he goes, "You're the one that done it yesterday." I'm like, "Yeah." He just shows me his phone and goes, "You're on Sky Sports." I'm just like, wow, this is mental.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. And then actual boxing people were coming and saying, "Hey man," he goes, "You the one doing the announcements?" I go, "Yeah." They go, "When you doing it?" I go, "I'll just come off the platform. I got to do checks, and you know, I wasn't always on the platform. I got a job to do." Yeah. You know what I mean? I got other things to do. And he goes, "Oh man, we've come so far to see you do it. When are you going to do it?" I go, I don't know, probably in the next 20 minutes I'll be back on the platform. He goes, "All right, we'll wait." And this is peak time. There's like 300 people every 7 minutes. Every 7 minutes there's like 300 people going out and off the platform, you know, and just like it's becoming a bit unsafe because they're just standing there blocking the pathways. Now we need to like make crowd flow, like people need to be moving, you know, like otherwise if it gets too busy and packed and it starts congesting, we got to shut the station down. That's how strict it was. Yeah. So like it was getting a bit mad at one point. And then before I knew it, anything, my company, like the DLR was like, "Hey, you're going on this morning show on ITV. They called in, they want you to do an interview on This Morning."
Wow.
And then I went to do This Morning. Then I remember waiting to get on stage on This Morning, and a Sky News message saying, "Hey, we want you to come to Sky Studios. Are you available today?" I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm at ITV right now. I'll come over."
That
you know?
is fantastic.
And then as I'm then as I'm sorting that out, then I get contacted by the manager of BBC Radio 1 for Ricky, Melvin and Charlie. And they're saying, hey, can you come do an interview here? So I remember doing ITV This Morning, Sky News, and then BBC Radio 1 all in one day. And
all in one day?
Yeah. It was just mental. And I just remember my Twitter was going mental. Absolutely mental, like to the point where I'll throw my phone. I'm like, I can't look at it anymore because it's just constant notifications, and it was just going insane. And
that is fantastic.
Then I started getting approached by boxing promoters. You know, it started from
incomings are just flying in.
Yeah,
like
and then like
you wasn't pitching anyone or anything.
No. I was still working at the trains, and I just remember.
Who was the first promoter to reach out? Do you remember?
Lee Eaton. At the time, he was at MTK at the time.
Oh, MTK. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lee Eaton made the first approach. You know, he got in contact with me, and then he told me, you know, we'll give you like a few like amateur shows, and then we'll get you licensed and stuff like that.
Do you need to do
but then
yeah,
if you want to do pro shows, you gotta get licensed by the British Boxing Board of Control.
Dude, just for ring announcement, I didn't realise that. Wow, that's interesting.
Because I'm officially in the ring.
Right. Okay.
Only a licensed person can go in near or in the ring. You know, otherwise you won't even be able to go near there. Basically.
Unbelievable. So what's the process? You got to do some sort of test?
Yes. So they you got to buy this little book. Everyone that's licensed by the board will know about this book. Whether you're a promoter, manager, anything to do with the board, they'll give you this book, and you got to like study your section on whatever it is you're applying for. And then go in for an interview, and then at the interview, they will get you to audition, like how to ring announce, and they'll ask you questions on like if Judge 1 goes with Fighter A, Judge 2 goes with Fighter B, and then Judge 3 goes with Fighter A, what's the decision? And like so, they'll test you, or like they'll ask you questions like that.
Yeah,
and then I answered all my questions, and then they were gonna get me to audition, but they already had one TV screen, and it was just YouTube of all my videos already on there. Then they go, you don't really need to audition. We've seen what you do and this and that. So then they go, step outside and we'll call you back in. And I was actually bottling it. I was like thinking, like I don't think they're gonna give it to me, because like it was a bit tough. Like they weren't like open arms. They wanted to make sure you know what you're doing and be professional.
Oh, and, right. So you was a little bit nervy, were you?
Yeah. So I was like, you know what, they might not give it to me, you know. And I remember walking. It was at a hotel, and I remember going in, and it was a sunny, hot day. Walking into the hotel, and so then after, there's a point to this. I'll get to that in a sec.
Yeah, go on.
And after they called me back in, and they say, all right, we're happy to give you your license. I was like, oh, okay, wicked, awesome. And then as I was leaving, one of them goes, hey, do you have a catchphrase? I go, yes, let's see some thunder. And then the guy went, I like it. Good luck, man. So I was like, all right, thank you. And I was like, yes, I got my license. And then as I stepped out the hotel, no word of a lie, yeah, the darkest cloud just came over, and it started pissing down with rain, and there was thunder roaring. And I was just like, this is insane. I couldn't even believe it. It's something like, it sounds like I made it up, but I didn't. The way how hot it was before going in, and the sun was blazing, for it to just turn into thunderous rain was mad.
That's mad. And it was almost like that was the beginning of your journey.
Yeah.
Like into the boxing, right?
Yeah. And then Casey Kadimi, who's a pro boxer, he was the first ever boxer to contact me. And then that's through him, that's how I met Bobby Warren, Robert Warren, and meeting all the Warren lot, and you know, getting into that side of it as well, and then started doing shows with them as well. And there was a point where I was there was talks about getting onto the Frank Warren shows, but it didn't work out. I guess everything happens for a reason at the end of the day. And and then yeah, man. So then, but then I just kept doing. But then what happened was then, with all that hype, it just crashed down because of COVID. COVID killed everything. Because I just left the DLR because I decided to do it full time, and I went self-employed. So then no sports shows. I was just like, man, what am I gonna do now, man? It was a dark.
You'd quit your job, and then all the events.
Yeah, it went from really up high. It just plummeted down, and then I had to basically play a year catch up, and yeah. So I just had to, just when shows started coming back, I just it's like I was forgotten at one stage, to be honest with you.
Oh man, that must have been quite dark times.
Yeah, it was hard, man.
Yeah.
But then I just carried on. Then I just thought, you know what, I got to build it back up. I can't give up. Because everyone saw something. Social media saw something. Michael Buffer himself saw something. Yeah. This is why I had to keep playing in my head to not lose the drive, man. And so then I just started doing countless small hall shows, just small hall after small hall. And then
how did the Misfits call come about?
Right. So then just before Misfits, you know, all like thanks to Robert Warren and Warren Boxing Management and Mark Nielsen, they managed to get a Box Nation show.
Yeah.
And so that was actually really my first ever televised show, was a show on Box Nation with Robert Warren and Mark Nielsen.
Yeah.
And then basically, so then now I had that footage of it was an IBF international fight with Ashley Sexton and Sabello Engabignana. That's it. Yes, it was an IBF
Ashley Sexton or Dave Sexton?
Ashley Sexton. Oh. It was actually his last fight of his career.
Oh, blimmin' hell.
Yeah. So I had all the footage of that. Then I think like a month or two later, I just see from the Zone that they've put a post out calling for all ring announcers for Misfits. So like a casting call, basically.
Oh, right. Okay.
And, you know, and at the time, because I was still building all my shows, I was like doing a lot of film work. I was like doing a lot of extra work in films. So like that was another avenue I got into whilst doing the ring announcing. So I remember I was doing that, and I remember seeing the casting call when I was on set on the film, and I messaged my missus, and I was like, hey, like, look, these lot are calling for a ring announcer. Like, should I go for it?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, go for it. And then I looked into what Misfits was. I got excited because I saw the Zone.
Yeah.
And then I looked into what Misfits was, and then I saw that it was influencer boxing, you know, with KSI and all of that. But the thing is, I weren't too clued up on that side of it.
Yeah.
The only thing I ever knew was KSI and Logan Paul, because of like Eddie Hearn promoted that one.
Yeah,
so they
were the big boys in that influence.
Yeah, so like that was the only like thing I ever knew about influencer boxing. And then when I looked more into it, and then I was like, hold on, it's influencer boxing. It's not that I didn't want to do it. I thought it might affect my job in the pro scene.
Yeah,
I didn't know, because at the time when I saw it, I just thought Misfits was a new pro like promotion.
Yeah.
So then, like, and then, like, you know, it can clash sort of things when you're licensed and doing unlicensed events and stuff like this, you know. So then I said I wasn't going to do it. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I go, no, I'm not going to do it. Brilliant. And she was like, all right, fine. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to do it. And then I slept on it. There was another day for the deadline. So then I woke up the next day and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to do it. Yes. But then I was like, all right, you know what? So I looked into it and see what they wanted. They wanted a video clip and like a paragraph on why you think you can do it. So then I got my Box Nation clips together, put that together. I done my whole spiel about what happened in 2019, you know, Michael Buffer and this and that. Then I found out the Sowland brothers were promoting this as well, and they done a tweet back then. So I thought, okay, maybe they remember me, you know. So let's go for it. And then and I remember they said we'll be announcing the winner 3 days after the deadline. So then it was like, okay, so we're gonna find out who's gonna get it, basically. Yeah. So it's not one of those things where they've casted someone.
Was there some big dogs going in for it?
I have no idea. I mean, like, I saw quite a few videos. You can actually,
can you?
Because people were commenting and sending their videos in and stuff. So like, they have to post. You have to post. So when I went on the comments, you go into their profile and it's their first post of their videos. And some people were doing funny things, like the camera's this close and going, "Let's get ready to rumble." Like, there were some videos like that. You know, people were applying like that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So then I done that, and I remember being on film set and just waiting, and like, it didn't get announced, and then I had finished and come home, and then me and my wife are looking, and like, we're like, they still ain't announced who the winner is. And I said, you know what, I've had enough. I threw my phone on the sofa. I turned on the PS5, and I'm just playing a samurai game, slashing people.
Chopping next man up.
Yeah, and then I just feel zzz on my, like, vibration on my sofa. I look, it's from Instagram. I look at it, and it's the Zone. And they're like, "Hi, congratulations, you've won the competition. Would love to have you as the ring announcer for Misfits 01 at the O2 Arena. Here's a number. It's a New York American number. Give this a call and we'll go through details with you."
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I just couldn't believe it.
Did you get back on with the samurai game?
No, I turned that off. I turned that off. And
turn it off and slid on your knees around the room.
No, I was just like, wow. I was like, I got it, you know. I was like, man, I got it. And then then I was like, I had that feeling where, like, now finally, like, I'm starting to see the fruits of all that grind.
Yeah,
from after COVID and stuff like that, you know.
So lovely to hear that, man. I love to hear great people doing well, you know. How much do you need to know the roster? What do you think as a ring announcer? Because obviously you're using your cards. How much do you need to know the actual roster? I do commentary as well as doing this. I commentate. I can't do ring announcing. It's really weird that I wouldn't fancy myself as a ring announcer. But I think I'm pretty decent at commentary. But I think it helps if you know the roster. Like, I watch fights. So if a show says Gunman, come and do the commentary on our show, I watch the fighters. I watch as many fights as I can during the week, even if it's low level. So some of them are really hard to find, the fights of them. But I watch a few of their fights because I find the commentary. If you can say, "Oh yeah, look, this guy's got a great jab. He's got good footwork," or "This guy's got a solid chin," or, you know, "Oh, this guy really needs to win because he's lost his last two." You know, if you can add that sort of flavour, I find it really helps. Do you need to know the roster with ring announcement or not?
Not really. I mean, you get to know it the more shows you do. Like, you start. You start getting to know the boxers if you're doing the.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the shows, like, you're working with that promoter.
Yeah,
and then
you start knowing them.
you start announcing this fighter again and again. So I'm like, oh, I've announced like your last 4 fights, so like I've started to know you, but
Yeah.
not really. No, I mean like if you just need the details,
Yeah.
you just need their trunks, what color their trunks are.
Yeah.
What first of all, what corner they're in,
Yeah.
their trunk, their weight, their record, where they're from, and their name. That's
Yeah.
all I
Do you know
need.
what I find tricky? I mean, I did a interview, like a face-to-face with O'Hara Davis last week.
Oh yeah, I know horror.
Yeah, and I was announcing him, like saying, so announcing the interview, yeah, here I am. And then I was just trying to go through his belts and his CV in a short space, which you have to do. So it'd be like the former English lightweight
Yeah,
champion and
yeah,
WBC silver light welterweight champion. And I have to really think about that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you probably could just rack it off, you know? But
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like
really interesting the difference between a commentator and a ring announcer. Like, when I commentate, I don't really ever say too much about, you're not ever putting into a paragraph, their CV, if you like. You're kind of going, oh look, yeah, oh, he's an English lightweight champion and he won his last fight and he's on a 3-fight win streak. Oh, lovely jab, and then you're off into the next thing.
yeah,
You've got to do it a nice, short, hard hitting, impactful paragraph, and then you're gone.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's a different
yeah,
ball
yeah.
game.
It really is. So like, it is different. But yeah, so the once they've got like, if they're former of certain belts or if they're current, just like you got to do the reigning, the defending,
Yeah,
and all of that. But yeah, then I love all of that because
yeah,
that just adding more as a build up until I drop the name,
yeah.
and then that's what gets the crowd going mental. Man.
Love
So
it.
yeah,
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, quick couple of questions for you. I'm conscious of your time. Quick couple of quick fire questions, all right? And then you got to do my ring announcement name again.
okay.
I love that. Right. So right, listen. Who's your favourite current fighter right now? Pro.
Current.
Yeah. Right now,
Uh,
who's your favourite professional fighter?
that's a hard one, man.
Yeah, you only allowed one name.
Okay.
I'm not even going to give you a get out of jail 5 namer.
All right. If I had to go with one,
Yeah. Who do you not want to see lose? Like when they're on, you're tuning in and you always make sure you see him. Or who's your favourite
you
current
know what?
fighter?
You know what? I'd probably say AJ, man.
Mm,
I like his journey and
mm,
the transitions he's made.
mm.
Like
He's won all the fans back now as well, isn't it?
yeah, and I never jumped on that, because I know he got a lot of hate at one
Yeah,
point, and I never jumped on that bandwagon. I always still like wished he was doing well.
yeah.
And now that I see this new AJ come back, and I'm like, yes, man. Like, yes, so I would say AJ.
Yeah. Favourite fighter of all time?
Mike Tyson.
Favourite Misfits fighter?
Oof. That's hard. I would have to, you know what? I would have to say Slim. Slim the Hitman Albahar, man.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Have you ever boxed yourself?
No, I haven't. I've sparred, but I haven't actually had like a proper bout. No.
Would you fight on Misfits if Mams gives you the call up?
Yeah, yeah, man. Why not? Yeah, I would. I mean, I train anyway, so like, I train at my manager's gym. I was actually training to try and get fight ready, but then shows and Ramadan came, and but now that's over. I'm getting back into the gym, so yeah, I would fight if the opportunity came.
How much do you weigh? How much did you fight
Right
at?
now,
How much did you fight at? Sorry,
I'm
I
just
should say.
I'm not sure with pounds. I'm just under. I'm like 17 stones,
All
5 pounds.
right, so we'll call you
Yeah,
heavyweight.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
then, so if there was one fighter on Misfits that you could fight, who would that be? Any weight division?
Anyway,
Yeah, who would you like to have a fight with?
wow. You're gonna cause problems.
Who would be a good fight for you? What would you like to have a fight with on Misfits?
Uh, I would probably say maybe like Tempo Arts, maybe.
Oh, you go straight in for the champ?
Yeah, I'd probably go for Tempo Arts. Someone like Tempo Arts. Maybe Chase the more.
It's straight.
Yeah. If I got to go heavyweight,
Yeah.
like, I ain't gonna call that a lightweight.
Yeah, no, call that a lightweight. That's what I would have
Yeah.
done.
So probably like Tempo Arts, Chase the more, probably.
That's absolutely brilliant. So the next card that's coming up
Yeah.
has just been announced, I think, this week. And it's at Troxy in East London. I fought there myself a couple of times. I've had 11 fights myself. I fought
Awesome.
there, I think I fought there 4 or 5 of my 11 fights. So
I never announced there, you know.
You've never announced there, yeah, but it's interesting because it's kind of like a gallery, if you like. So because the rings are at the back of a wall, if you
Right.
so you're not around the ring.
Right. So it's like a theatre.
Around the ring, the
It's
walls
like
the rings at
a
the back.
theatre sort of thing.
Yeah, like a theatre, yeah. So I'm not explaining it very well at all.
Okay.
I'm not explaining it well at all. Yeah, but yeah, it's like a gallery, I was saying. Yeah, like a theatre, like you're watching the cinema, really.
Right.
You know, like
Okay.
the rings at the back, and then you. So I found when I boxed it, I found that odd that you know, sort of quiet one side of you, and everyone's looking at
Going
you.
mad on the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually when I boxed before, everyone's around you, and it creates a completely different atmosphere. So I wonder if they set it up like that, but you know, I'm not sure you can set it up much different in that place. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the show. Which fight has caught your attention on that card?
You know what? Quite a few. Like, I have to say, I think this is a banging card. This one,
isn't it?
and I think that's not the full card either.
No,
there was a Twitter space where Mams, I think, said he's putting a few more pieces to the puzzle where he will announce other fighters that are coming on that card. But what a card that is already!
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Which one are you most looking forward to?
Say again.
Which fight are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a few. Like, I'm looking forward to Salt Pappy's return. So I get on really well with Salt Pappy. Well, we're both on Happy Punch as well.
That Adam Brooks fight is interesting.
Yeah, Adam Brooks with
King Kenny.
Yes, that's
a really interesting fight. Yeah, I'm really excited about that fight. I think that's the one I'm looking forward to, actually.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Brooks and King Kenny. I didn't see that coming.
No,
I did not see that fight coming. Salt Pappy's opponent, I don't know much about.
No, nor do I.
I'm looking actually forward to Julie Poker and Barbie because that was supposed to be the final on the Kingpin show.
Right.
So them two made it to the final, and I was like, that's going to be a great fight. And then obviously where the Kingpin died off, I was like, we're never going to get to see it. But I'm glad that's coming.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting.
Because I did the Kingpin show as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So then, who else is on that card? Tempo Arts is fighting
Ben Knight.
Do I know Ben Knight?
Ben Knight come from. He was on. He's a TikToker, and he came from. I think he was on Wicked and Bad or Sunday Smoke, and then this sort of midweek mayhem. He's on that scene, midweek mayhem, the HS TikToky scene. He's training with James Wallace, so more like the instalive sort of sparring fights that you've seen on the scene. Sunday Smoke with Bouncer Play Dirty and stuff.
Yeah.
He was on that scene, I believe. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting one because I know I had James Wallace on here, his coach, a couple of interviews ago, and mate, they train like savages in that gym. Like honestly, they whip you. They whip you. That's it. Mate, the whole card's interesting. I'm going to try and be there.
Oh, awesome.
Hopefully. I'm going to try and get there to that for sure. So hopefully I can.
Hopefully get to see you there,
Yeah,
man.
hopefully I get to see you in the flesh.
Yes.
But that'd be absolutely fantastic. So just lastly, then, what's your sort of future plans then? Have you got any plans, or you just take it as it goes?
I mean, I would like my future plans is like I managed to get a world title, to announce a world title. That was part of my list.
But you freelance, don't you? You can
Yeah,
move shows, right? You're not exclusive to Misfits, are you?
I'm not like exclusive to anyone.
Yeah. So you
And
move from show to show, right?
so that's sorry.
You can move from show to show.
Yeah, I can move from show to show. There's no like contract holding me down. I've signed a freelancer deal with the Zone. So like if the Zone, have a show, I have to give them priority. But I'm allowed when there ain't no shows, I'm allowed to do any other show I want.
That's good.
But I would like what I've got next is to do a pay-per-view main event. That's one of my goals because I've only done pay-per-view undercards. I've never done a main event pay-per-view. So announcing a stadium would be amazing.
It's funny how you get so granular now. To me as an outsider, I think that's bloody brilliant. It all feels the same, and you're like, well, I've done an undercard of a pay-per-view, but not the main. So you've got quite granular with it now. Like it's brilliant to watch. Because that's you being a perfectionist, man. In your trade. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to me, I'm like, mate, what's he talking about? It's all the same. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
For you're a perfectionist, so you're looking to move up. It's lovely to see, man. It's wicked.
And I would like an exclusive deal. That would be great as well.
Yeah, because I always say to people, a lot of people when I speak and interview, you only really go exclusive when you get to the very top. Do you know what I mean? The gunman freelancers. I can talk to fighters on any show.
Yeah,
I do bare knuckle. I can speak to a Misfits fighter. I can interview a ring girl, a ring announcer. I can do whatever.
Yeah.
But if Top Rank came calling and said, look, just interview these same 6 fighters for a year, you're just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you freelance till you get to the very top.
Yeah, basically. So that's how my journey's going at the minute. So I just take if I'm available, if I'm available on this date and the promoters come to me with a show and I'm available and they're happy to pay, my fee, then yeah, I'll book it in. Doesn't matter if it's X, Y, or Z. But like obviously, I price things according to the budget of the show. I haven't got a small hall pro show ain't gonna pay the same as a DAZN pay-per-view show.
Yeah, I get you. Oh, so you price accordingly. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
So I go with what their budget is. So I do compromise. Easy to work with, and I remain professional on regardless of whatever show it is. I'll give the same performance. Just because this show's not televised doesn't mean I'm going to do it half-heartedly. Every show I do, I have in my mind that I'm in Vegas or,
wicked.
or I'm at the O2, or I'm at in Manchester where we did the Prime card.
Yeah, wicked.
22,000 people. Always, even if I think I'm there, even if I'm doing a York Hall show.
Yeah, that's amazing. Have you got a final message to your supporters? You've got literally when I announced you on the show, so many people have said like great stuff, like oh, it's brilliant, he's on, and I see you've got a lot of connections with people that I have connections with, of course, because we're both in the same field, I suppose, in a different way. Yeah. But have you got a message to your supporters?
Just nothing but like gratefulness to everyone that shows support. Just really grateful to have the support. Thank you guys, and it really does mean a lot. You know, it's like it's been hard, and you know, there's been like a lot of kind messages that I've received. That's like helped keep me going, and you know, now we're like on a trajectory, and you know, I couldn't have done it without these guys. Brilliant. All the positiveness, just like I love the whole thing about being positive, man. Just keep moving forward, and like start training yourself to block out negativity and
cut off negative people.
Yeah, because like look, I come from like I come from a Turkish Cypriot background, and like a lot of the fams, they're a bit old school, so they don't really understand what I'm doing, and I get that. You know, I totally get it, and like, you know, you get, you know, they like it's like a sort of thing where they think their insecurities onto you.
Yeah,
you know.
So like, you're always gonna get haters, man. You know, or people that want to stop you growing, or people don't want to help you. Listen, if it was always a smooth path,
everyone would be doing
it. Me and you'd be right at the very top.
Yeah.
If there's a smooth path, mate, you wouldn't believe some of the, you know, blockages that you get sometimes. You know, people not letting you interview people. In my case, you know, or you know, people trying to stop you interviewing people. You think, well, it's freedom of speech.
Yeah,
you know, get, you know, things like that, and you know, my channel grew really quickly. I had people saying, "Oh, you buy your followers." I was like, mate, I wouldn't even know how to buy followers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get people trying to stop you. You'll get people that don't understand what you do, and they'll be like, "Oh, you know, why is he doing this and why is he doing that?" And you know,
and the thing is as well, what was hard for me is I was sort of proving them right during COVID times because I came this close so many times to quit and give up.
Because people are probably thinking, look, why is he giving up his job to do this?
Yeah, and he's not doing much at the minute. Because it's COVID, but they don't understand. Hold on, the shows are just cancelled.
The shows are gone, the gyms are closed.
Yeah, you know, and like, you know, it was really hard that time.
Everyone doubting you, telling you you're doing things wrong. Mate, trust me, as I said, I doing this show, I get people being negative, but like I said at the very start of this show, when someone says to you, "Oh, mate, it's amazing, you brightened up my day," when I get an inbox, bang, like a kid going, "Oh, you know, I love your show, it's an inspiration," that makes it all worthwhile for me.
Yeah.
And it's like you, like when you get someone say on a train, "No, you've made my journey. I enjoyed coming here again." You know, it fills you with warmth, and that outweighs a lot of the hate and nastiness, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, man, and it's the power of positivity, man. Just focus on that, concentrate on that, and you don't have to worry about anything else. You know, just have faith as well. That's helped me a lot within the last year. And yeah, man, just be grateful doing what you're doing. Even like the amount of doors that even closed. Like I approached so many other promoters, and some replied and some didn't. You know, but I just kept trying. You don't know, man.
You get rejection, all the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like there's times where other promoters have come to my shows and they've seen what I do, and they're like, "Raw, okay, this like." Because at one point, I think, you know what, in the boxing world, I think the whole boxing world was just set where the MC is just Buffer, Lennon Jr., you know, we're set for them being the greats.
Yeah, it was closed, wasn't it?
And no one focused on the other MCs anymore. Like even promoters, I don't think. It's just he knows what he's saying, and we don't care.
And if you want my show to be serious, I've got to get this guy. That's how it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So like now they're like,
80s and 90s,
I sort of like brought that fire back to like, actually, you know what, an MC is important. if he, you know, if he's getting the crowd going the way he's going, you know, then it like made them see, hold on, actually, an MC is important, man. We need to, you know, start focusing on this a bit.
Yeah.
Because it really does create the atmosphere for your show, man. And then once the promoter like tastes it live, you know, that's how I got a few of my other jobs. There's other promoters that come to my shows and they're like, hey, you know what? I got a show on this day. I ain't got an MC like booked. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah. And then after that, then I've built a relationship with them, and now I'm doing all their shows. You see what?
Yeah, mate, I completely get you. Same with the commentary. I do commentary, as I said, for a few shows, and it's like you're enhancing the show. You enhance the show. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Right, listen, one more. Give me one more, Wesley. Could you announce Wesley Gunman Graham for me? I need to have that for the end of the show today. I need a cracking. I need a cracking. I need a cracking rendezvous from you.
All right. So, where are you from?
I'm from the mean streets of Wallington.
Mean streets of Wallington?
Yeah. Wallington, Surrey.
Wallington, Surrey.
Yeah.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you, hailing from the mean streets of Wallington, Wesley, the Gunman Graham!
Yeah, bad man. I love it. That's brilliant, mate. That is brilliant. Thank you so much, man. You have made my evening.
No problem. It's a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me on, man.
Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's almost been an hour, so I don't want to take too much more of your time. But it's been a fantastic chatting with you, and I really hope and pray that I can get you on more in the future. And I'm hoping to see you as well. I'm going to try and get to that Misfits, but we will certainly stay in touch anyway. 100%. So don't you worry about that.
Thank you for having me on.
Mate, stay blessed. Your journey is amazing, man. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it, brother.
Top man. Thank you. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, man. Have a good evening, bro.
You too.